YouTube. Today I'd like to do a review on my FINN T75 Hydroseeder. I've had it for a few months. If you've watched my other videos, you know we do a lot of final grade stuff like that, and this is just another attachment, or well, another tool that I have that helps us a lot, and we see really great results when we hydroseed. It holds 800 gallons, 750 working gallons capacity. We spray in between 5 and 5,500 square feet each load. Really like it. It's got a 200-foot hose reel on it. That's actually an electric hose reel. It's very nice. That hose, you don't think it's that heavy until you get 200 feet of it out. It's very heavy, especially when it has hydroseeding mix inside of the hose. It's electric start, has a tower stand where you can spray out of the tower or just out of the hose right here. These are the products that we use. You're supposed to start lightest to heaviest. So first thing we do is I get it about halfway full of water. That way the auger can chop up the mulch and actually grab it. If you fill it up all the way before, if you fill it up with water all the way before you start adding the mulch will just sit on top, and it takes twice, 3 times as long to grab the mulch and get it pushed down. It's annoying. Anyway, so for this 750 gallons I'm going to use, we use 1 bag of Kentucky Tall Fescue, and in this order, by the way, 2 ounces of Tenacity. Tenacity is an herbicide, and it helps keep out weeds. Tacking agent, we use about 1 pound per 100 gallons, and that's going to hold all your mixture together really nice on slopes. It also is like a slickifier, if you would say. It keeps your hose nice and slick when you're spraying this stuff out. Say you were to put too much mulch in it, and you know the mix or the slurry is a little bit too thick. That tactifier really helps it come out the hose a lot easier. We use 5 bales of Profile 100% wood mulch, and then we use 1 50-pound bag of 19 starter fertilizer, and we put it in that order. I put the starter fertilizer in there last, after everything's mixed, right before, about say 2 or 3 minutes before I spray, get it all mixed up. Starter fertilizer is really bad for your machine. Whoever had this before me didn't clean it out very well. I'm going to do a full rehab on this winter. Sandblast it, repaint it, clean the inside out, but for now it works. I'd also like to show you a little something I added on over here. So a couple weeks ago when I went to go use it, the keyway broke inside the clutch. So my hydroseeder was down for 6 or 7 hours, and during that time the hose was full of hydroseed mulch because it broke while we were using it. My entire hose got clogged up. I couldn't blow it out. I couldn't do anything like that at all. It was just horrible. So I installed this air compressor on here. Let's put a little switch right here. This is how I mounted it. Now that built up to 200 psi pressure. So when you're done hydroseeding and you don't have nowhere to clean your tank out, which here we're actually pulling water from a pond today, so I'll be able to clean out here. It's really nice because I don't have to bring my tank with me and rent a hydrant or get a permit for a fire hydrant and all that. Anyway, so when I'm done, normally I would, like I said, I'll clean this out here today, but if I'm going from one job to another and my hose is full of hydroseed, I can go ahead and clean it out like this. So I turn the tank on, get up to about 150 to 200 psi, shut the valve that leads to the hose reel, and then I'll put this little, open this little valve right here, and it will put air into the system. Therefore, when it puts air into the hose, I can grab my hose reel, put it back into the tank, completely blow the hose reel out, so that way I won't get anything. Well, hopefully the idea is that it won't dry out. Anyways, let's get this water pulled and we'll start mixing all of this. I just wanted to kind of go over the machine and tell you a couple details about it. The little air compressor setup is so nice. I've seen a couple guys do it on a hydroseeding Facebook page. I follow a group. I was like, well, I'm going to do that because, man, it was very frustrating to have 200 feet of hose full of hydroseeding mix. It's all dry. I had to throw it in my pond for 2 or 3 days. Let the water get in the hose so that way I could get it blown out. So hopefully that's a preventative maintenance issue and we won't have that problem again. But anyways, like I said, there it is, 2-inch trash pump, pumping out of the guy's pond. Like I said, it's going to make it so much easier, and let's get to mixing this stuff. fire. The first two things. Now we're just going to add some of this wood mulch. Probably add 4 bales of it first. As you see, that just mixes it up in there nice. We'll add the rest and I'll show you what the slurry looks like. Alright, so here's our consistency. You can see in there the seed, starter fertilizer. We'll let it mix for a few more minutes. I like to do a reverse agitation. If we got any clumps up front, it'll bring it to the back. You'll be able to see those clumps right here. It looks pretty good. Alright. I'm going to put it back in the normal mixing mode. I'll let that mix for 3 or 4 more minutes while we're headed up there and getting the hose ready. We should be ready to spray. Alright, got it all done. Covered really nicely. This didn't cover as great as I wish it would, just because of how wet it was right there. But this all looks great. Rained about probably an inch last night. So once all this dries out and becomes one big solid piece of hydro seed, tell them to go ahead and start watering it a few times a day, keep it wet. Probably see germination in 12 days. All right, there it is. All right, we have another small little job to go hydro seed right now, so I just wanted to show you guys this little setup I made to clear your hose out on the way from one job to another, just in case it would dry out and get stuck in the hose. So put this little air compressor on here, put it on a toggle switch. I just filled it up, well, roughly 170 psi in it right now. So what I did is tapped in to the pipe that leads to the hose. I'll shut the valve so it doesn't go back inside of the tank. We got our hose up here in our mix. All right, Danny, go ahead and hit that valve. What it's going to do is just let all the air, has nowhere to go other than this hose. It's going to shoot all that mix right back into the tank. That way we have a clean hose. We don't have to worry about it drawing up in there, and it's a real pain when it does. It's pretty easy. I just alright, that's good. Alright, so now that hose is nice and cleaned. Well, not as clean as we need to. We're running water through this once we get home at the end of the day. But like I said, I just threaded and tapped for a air truck right there. Just a little valve. I mean, it's pretty simple. Just make sure you shut that if you end up doing this. You don't want your hydroseed mix to end up back up in your tank. Anyways, that's my little review of the FINN T75. It does really good. Actually, it's probably going to be early day, so we're going to probably start sanding this puppy down. I just want to paint it, make it look a little nicer, put new decals on it. Overall, yeah, it's a very nice machine. Make good money with it if you can get the work. Stay busy with it. Thanks for watching.